sophomore, and this is for all three of you. Can you say in one sentence or less what? You know what I mean. Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?
What that mouthfuss? Chicago got a migrant problem. New York has a squatters problem. What is a squatter? What is squatters' rights? What do you mean squatters there? Do you mean somebody can just sit in somebody's home and then all of a sudden they can become a tenant versus a landlord without a contract? Let's go watch. Let's see if it's true what's going on in the great state of New York, the great city of New York City. Shocking video from WABC shows a Queens homeowner being arrested for eviction following a fiery standoff with a tenant. Adela Nero was recently nabbed after she changed the locks on a $1 million home in Flushing that she inherited from her parents when they died. In New York City, a person can claim a squatter's right after just 30 days of living at the property. 30 days. At which point it becomes illegal for the homeowner to change the lock, turn off the utility, or remove the tenant belonging from the property. You can't kick them out. 30 days. It's not a few months. It's not a few years. It's 30 days. New York created their own problems. In addition to her arrest, Arterello says she is being forced to start an eviction file in court to settle the landlord-tenant dispute without a landlord or tenant agreement. Of course. This makes perfect sense. It comes just weeks after another Queens couple was unable to move their disabled son into a new home because squatters claimed to have an agreement with the previous owner. So they sold the house, and then the squatters can just stay there? You can't say. You see how crazy this sounds? If they have paperwork, there's something wrong in the state of New York. If they have paperwork that the people that own the house sold the house, and then these people can stay, because technically you can't stay if somebody sell it. Your tenant agreement is up. But the law in New York is so stupid. Okay. And yet another squatter was found to have turned Rockaway home into a stomach-turning house of horror, filled with more than a dozen emaciated cats and dogs. Listen. Listen, I don't know what in the world they got going on in these major cities. I don't know what they trying to do. I don't know why they would vote this. I understand the reason for squatters' rights. I understand it, by the way. We're gonna go over it. We're gonna go over it in a minute. But I understand this is apparently the guy. Well, she said she's fearful that these people gonna get away with taking her home, which she should be. Because when you don't understand that you be gone for 30 days and somebody can just sit in your house. I don't know how long she was gone, by the way. But apparently the parents probably died a few months ago, apparently. So it couldn't be that long. And if a dude see that somebody died and just sit in your house for 30 days while you mourning, you doing funerals, you doing all that after you left, and all of a sudden nobody go to the house, it's your house, you trying to take care of your business with your home, trying to get your bills together, trying to get all the paperwork for the house because it's inherited to you and everything else. Then after about 50 days, 60, you done took too much, you lived your life, because it hurts people like us. Because again, a rich person would just immediately just have somebody renovate the house, have their lawyers take care of all the other crap, and just have it redone and sold, $1 million home sold quickly for like $3-4 million. They would easily do it. People look like me and you. We can't do that. We have to go work our lives to pay our rent while we're trying to pay that rent at the same time to keep it on so we can sell it in the future. And then all of a sudden when we come all the way back here from wherever we're from, we find somebody there that been there for 30 days. And now they're a tenant, apparently. That don't make sense. This is a woman who answered the door to the Post on Tuesday said she did not know anything about the squatting claim. I don't have to explain more. Talk with the guy who has the business or the problem with the woman, but not with me because I don't know anything about it. That is not my problem, she said, slamming the door. Apparently, probably his girlfriend. He's got a house to tricking one of these women. During the recent encounter at her home, Anderello, who was armed with deeds, was filmed entering the property after one of the apparent tenants left the front door open. It's a lot of them. After changing the lock, a man who said he was leading the property, identified by the local outlet as Brian Rodriguez, returned and barged through the front door. You shouldn't be trying to steal my house, a Ferris Anderello yelled at him during caught on camera idea. Following a flurry of 911 calls, responding cops told Anderello she had to sort out the saga in housing court because it was considered a landlord-tenant issue. Anderello was ultimately given an unlawful eviction charge because she had changed the locks and hadn't provided the key. She didn't provide a key to the person staying there. Yeah, we gotta give you a misdemeanor. She was slapped with a criminal court summons, cops added. Despite the footage showing the other alleged squatters being led away and cuffed, police said no other arrests or summons were made. Underrello says she is now being forced to start an eviction filing in the court to settle a landlord-tenant dispute. It's horrible. It's her home. I'm glad it's coming to the forefront because it's a disgrace. They can just come and take your house. A neighbor who didn't want to be named told the Post. Listen, this is going to feel all the Republican conservative rage. This is going to feel all of that. They've been saying they going to come to your house. They were talking about black people. That's a white man. That white man came to take their house. The poors are coming to take your house, rich white people. It ain't black people. We stand over there. We stand where we go. We stand. Them poor white people come take your house. Them more that's who taking your house. Now let's go learn. Let's go learn what is a squatter. Squatters in New York State can claim a legal right to remain on a property without the owner's permission after 10 years of living there. However, in New York City, a person can only need to be on a property for 30 days. 10 years. Listen, if you ain't checked on your house in 10 years, you have no right. I don't even mind. I think that's in most states, by the way. I think you can do a squatter's claim in most states after a year. Because after 10 years, of course, man. If you ain't been in your house 10 years, you ain't got the right to come back. Like, bro, you ain't took care of nothing. You ain't took care of the yard. You ain't been here. You ain't cut the lights on. You ain't did nothing in 10 years, my bro. You ain't did nothing in 10 years. You can't lay a claim to this house. But after 30 days, come on now. What if I want a vacation? So you telling me if I go on a 2-month vacation because I done worked for 20 years and then some dude rented my house and stayed up for 30 days, all of a sudden I gotta somebody else live in my house? That's crazy. Why is it hard to get rid of squatters? Squatters are allowed a wide range of rights once they have established legal occupancy, making it difficult to evict them. Again, if I take a 2-month vacation after I worked for 20 years and I went to the Bahamas, I want to enjoy myself. I rented a place for 2 months. If somebody come to my house for 30 days, I got a new person to live with me. How does someone become a squatter? Some of the scenarios in which a person becomes a squatter includes a tenant refusing to pay rent. So you can refuse to pay rent. A relative of a former homeowner refusing to leave the property, or even a stranger who entered the property and never left. According to Manhattan-based law firm Nadell and Cirillo, squatters must have a reasonable basis for claiming the property belongs to them and must treat the home as if they were the owner, such as doing yard work and making repairs. Listen, like I said, 10 years, that makes perfect sense. You might not even, in 30 days, you might not even have to make a repair. If it's, you in New York City, what yard work? You know what I'm saying? You've been out for my boy, you've been out for 45 days. You ain't had to make a repair, ain't nothing broke. You ain't had to do no yard work, but 10? So I can understand 10. How can property owners get rid of a squatter? A property owner must first send a 10-day eviction notice and then file a court complaint. If the order is ignored, if approved by a judge, the owner can get a summons to have the sheriff evict the squatter. Why does the law provide squatters with rights? This is important. This is so important to me. The law was designed to help prevent long-term tenants from getting evicted. I can see where it helps. For instance, like, let's say somebody just raised the rent to a ridiculous price after we lived there for a year. The rent been $700 for a year, and all of a sudden it's $3,000, and I've been there for 10 years. Yeah, you probably trying to gentrify us. That part helped black people, by the way, because they would do that. They try to gentrify. That actually helped gentrification. So I get that one. But they didn't think it all the way through, right? New York City law was partially made in response to vacant and abandoned buildings that were being a blight on the city, and I get that too. For instance, you got these abandoned buildings with nobody in them. Yo, listen, if you go repair this building that ain't nobody in and you keep it up in at least somewhat decent shape, you can squat there, my boy. You can do whatever you want to do, my girl, my boy. If you just keep it up and don't make it look like the most sinful place ever, there's just rats and rotting to death. We trying to keep the rat problem down. We trying to keep the animal problem, raccoon, whatever you got. We trying to keep it down. If you just go in there and repair it, cool. But the problem is it's 30 days. And it can be a homeowner, not just a random building, a homeowner, right? that means any building. I understand buildings that have been vacant. I understand the certain amount of years that nobody came. I understand that. But 30 days is absolutely crazy. How can a property owner protect themselves from squatter? Owners should avoid keeping any property vacant for an extended period of time. It makes sense, except for it's 30 days. They should also make sure the building is secure, has adequate lighting, and has surveillance cameras and so on. If a squatter does appear, owners should notify the police quickly before squatters' rights are established. I mean, before 30 days. It's just crazy. We don't know how they got in, when they got in. We have no idea how these people found out about the house being empty. I don't know. The ordeal is just the latest involving a squatter in the Big Apple in the recent weeks after a couple complained to move into a $2 million home in Douglaston, Queens. Queens seemed to have a problem with their disabled son was derailed by a squatter. Separately, a squatter was also found to turn a Rockaway home into a stomach-turning house of horrors. We read that. New York-based attorney Alan J. Goldberg, who specializes in landlord versus tenant law, told the Post the Big Apple has seen a 40 to 50% increase in similar cases in the wake of COVID. It's incumbent upon the city to deal with the issue. It is 100%. It's much harder to remove them now because the court is so backlogged, Goldberg said. I think there should be a fast-track court for squatters and licenses. They should have an expedited type of hearing. I think that's it on the story. Listen, let me know y'all thoughts. Like and subscribe, hit that notification bell. All of that jazz. But to me, it's insane. You shouldn't just have the right to just sit in somebody's home. There's somebody else's home. And I'm for poor people, by the way. I don't mind them living in abandoned buildings. Like I said, if it's been years and nobody been in there, you go in there. I don't mind people having homes and some warmth and all that. I'm for it. But to sit in somebody's house. And we saw one case, it said, what did they say? They said they tried to get the home for their disabled son. They like, no, the previous owner made a deal with me. That means the previous owner had a deal with you and sold the house while knowing you was there. That's wrong. Let me know y'all thoughts, like and subscribe. This is crazy. New York do better. New York City, y'all are, again, I don't know what's up in New York City and Los Angeles. It's just something wrong with y'all city. Y'all became the biggest city and just got stupid. Instead of like doing the real world problem solving, let's just mess it up more. Cause let's just let people live anyway. And y'all wonder why y'all got so many issues. Let me know how y'all thought. Like and subscribe. Peace.
Hi, my name is Jenny. I'm a sophomore, and this is for all three of you. Can you say in one sentence or less what...